Like Ike or not, Houston is a city that appears ready for his wrath.
We have all the junk food in the world. This is our big chance to have it and not feel guilty.
Like most residents in Houston, Cindy Raymond is riding Hurricane Ike out.
There are a few houses boarded up, maybe half a dozen that we saw, but by and large, people are still here.
The metro area surrounding Houston includes 5 million people that would take at least 96 hours to evacuate, and Ike turned directly toward Houston only 48 hours ago.
There are limits on what you can do to evacuate a much larger number of people without having people stranded on the freeway, which is the worst place to be in a storm.
In Houston, only about 250,000 people in 9 low-lying zip codes have been ordered to leave.
Hurricane Ike has grown into a giant storm, and it is bearing down on the Gulf Coast of Texas. Let's turn to our Dave Price, who is in Galveston with the very latest. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning to you, Harry. Good morning, Maggie. We are right now on the staircase to the seawall. It's 17 feet tall, and this is what will protect the city of Galveston from major flooding, if indeed it can be protected as this huge storm rolls in this direction. Let's show you the satellite picture. You talked about how wide it is. Tropical storm force winds extend 275 miles from the eye, and keep an eye on this storm's direction and its speed and the amount of time places like Galveston are going to be under hurricane force winds. We're talking about being battered by upwards of 10 hours. Danger to cities like Galveston and Texas City and all across the Texas Gulf Coast. Now, as we prepare for this storm,
this is going to be something. Alicia was rough.
I believe that's a entertainment kind of thing. They're a restaurant, and this is the very, very far end of Galveston Island on the east side.
So you're backing down. Backing out.
The emergency professionals in this region have been working hard for several days. There have been new developments in the weather over the last 24 hours. Some of those developments overnight include an expansion of the size of the storm. There's some 350 mile radius of winds, which makes this a very big storm. It is of hurricane force, and most of the models predict increasing intensity with storm surges throughout a large part of the Texas Gulf Coast. As a result of that, this morning, conferring with emergency professionals in the region and looking at the best meteorology, there are certain decisions which have been made. I will discuss some of those decisions. Judge Emmett will discuss others. I'd ask the citizens of this community and those within the media to try to make sure that those who don't have access to this broadcast or radio or transmission, that have access to our recommendations and that we give at this briefing this morning.
In school, right after noon, you can wait till later in the day, but we strongly urge you to evacuate before tomorrow if you're in any of the following zip codes. The zip codes are 77058, 77059, 77062, 77520, 77546, 77571, 77586, and 77598. Those are what we refer to as zones A and B in Harris County. They are the areas that are subject to a storm surge of up to 15 feet And it's very important that people understand that with that type storm surge, we're not talking about gently rising water. We're talking about a surge that will come into your home quite possibly, so it's important that you evacuate. For the general population, again, the mandatory evacuation will begin at noon today. We ask that you wait until noon if at all possible. We still have folks in Galveston and other low-lying areas that are trying to go through our community, and it's important to make sure that this is a phased evacuation. These are the zip codes that are in danger of storm surge. For everyone else, we are still saying, please shelter in place, or to use the Texas expression, hunker down. You're going to be facing hurricane-force winds. You're going to be facing strong rain, but you're still safer staying in place, sheltering in place, unless if you live in a mobile home and you're going to be in an area that is going to be facing these winds, by all means, we recommend you.
Obviously, this is a huge storm that is causing a lot of damage, not only in Texas, but also in parts of Louisiana. The storm has yet to pass, and I know there are people concerned about their lives. Some people didn't evacuate when asked, and I've been briefed on the rescue teams there in the area. They're prepared to move as soon as weather conditions permit. Obviously, people on the ground there are sensitive to helping people and are fully prepared to do so. Secondly, I've asked Secretary Chertoff to go down as soon as weather conditions permit. I suspect he'll be able to get down to Texas this afternoon.